Hi everybody! So today we're going to be testing out the Arteza 24 color gouache paints. I've seen a lot of other people do reviews on these, but they all appear to be paid advertisements or things that other people had been sent and that sort of thing, so I wasn't sure how honest the reviews were. So I just used my own money to purchase this product to try it out for you guys today. As you can see, there are some tubes in here. There's 24 colors. They come in 12 milliliter tubes, and they do have different light fastness and pigment information on them, which is pretty nice. That's what you get with professional lines. It's not something you usually see with a student grade paint. But when they say that you get 24 colors, you really get more like 23 because they give you 2 tubes of white. And one is labeled titanium white and one is just labeled white. And when you swatch them right next to each other, they're exactly the same color. You don't see that bright crispness that you normally see with a titanium white, where you get that like titanium look. But it does say that they use different pigments for the whites, so I'm not sure why they look the same, but they do. So who knows? Anywho, I thought I would paint with them and see if we like them. I'm not going to do a full swatch of these because there's 24 of them and I don't have 24 holes. But I am going to just go ahead and just make some cute little like succulent paintings and see if I like their products at all. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab all of the different greens and load up my palette here. See if I like them at all. So I've got some Viridian green. Looks like there's one called deep green. I think I'm gonna like that color the most. Sap green is one of my favorite colors, but when I opened this and swatched it for the first time, I quickly realized that that is not sap green. If you're a fellow artist and you know what sap green looks like, this is obviously not sap green. It is too bright in color. It's not earthy enough. So I was very disappointed by that because sap green is one of my favorite colors. And then pale green, which honestly, if we're honest with each other, is exactly the same as the sap green, except they added, it looks like a touch more lemon yellow and a touch more white, but they are almost exactly the same color. So once again, instead of 24 colors, you're kind of getting closer to 22 because you got 2 whites and 2 greens, which are exactly the same. Let's see, what other colors might I like to use? I'm gonna go ahead and grab some peach red. There's nothing peachy or red about this color. It is actually hot neon pink, which threw me for a loop the first time I grabbed it. I was like, why is this color so bright? I'm gonna grab a little rose for something a little more earthy looking and purpley. Let's see, what else do I want to grab? Maybe grab some of the mixing white. In case I want it. Good for highlights and things. And I think instead of using the black paint, I'll go over everything with a black marker for detail. So I think those are all the colors that I'll probably be using. And then right here we've got some watercolor paper. We've got our water. I'm just going to go ahead and paint some super cute baby succulents. See where we go from there. See if I like this paint at all. All I've done with it so far is swatch, so I have no idea if I like this paint or not. Get it activated with a little bit of water here. Maybe just a touch more. Get it kind of nice and loose. There we go. Let's see. Let's just draw some cute little baby plants. Okay. I've used basically no water, and I'm already noticing that I can see the paper underneath the gouache, so it is not nearly as opaque as I would like. Honestly, I'm not using enough water. It's not liquid enough. There we go. So I'm just going to try to go back over it, see if I can get it to become opaque. Yeah, okay, so if you go over it, again, you can make it opaque, which is good to know because, you know, it is just a student grade paint. You can't expect the earth, moon, and stars from this product. That would just be ridiculous. It wouldn't be fair to, like, compare this to, like, Winsor and Newton or my personal favorite, the Royal Talons brand of gouache. I also really like the Sunnier brand. I plan on buying some more of those. Okay. It's a little chunky and not that smooth, but you can kind of get that with gouache anyway, because gouache is very opaque and kind of thick. It's not a great product for being very loose. Let's go ahead and try the Viridian, which is going to appear more blue, but I think it'd still make it for a cute little guy. Cute little succulent. I think one of the round ones, I think. Little round fatties. Now let's make the bottom more flat so that we can fit a little potted plant bowl under there. Alright, that looks good. He looks like a little guy who's ready for action. He's not too ugly. Alright, and just to see if they dry pretty similarly, or if they dry differently, I'm going to go ahead and put the sap green and the pale green light, I think is what it was called, next to each other to see if we really can notice a difference, because honestly I didn't see one, other than it being a little bit more yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and just paint the exact same kind of cactus on top, just to see if I can get it to look nice. Alright. Let's see. Alright, we're going to go ahead and put a second coat on there so that it can go ahead and not be so see-through. It is really streaky and see-through, the pale light, just like the other green was. So I'm not too ecstatic about that. With my Royal Talons ones, you know, it's like painting with, no, I wouldn't say acrylics because gouache has its own feel on the paper, but it does have the opacity of an acrylic, which these just don't have at all. Though another strange thing with gouache, but this is just gouache in general, not just like the student grade paints, is the lights dry darker than they look when they're wet, and the darks dry lighter, which is really weird. I'm not sure why that happens, but it does. Go ahead and activate this hot pink color just because I think it's pretty and I want to see what it looks like dry. And give that some love. Mixy, mixy. I might have put too much water in there. Maybe it looks a little runny. I'm going to go ahead and add some more paint to that hole. Bloop. Give it some love because we want it to be the right texture. We want to give these paints a fair shot. Oh, it's just really liquidy in the first place. Wow, fresh out of the tube. I don't know if you see that, but fresh out of the tube it is very liquidy and not nearly as viscous as the other greens. So that's very interesting. Good to know. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and give this guy a cute little hot pink plant, potted plant pot. Okay, this brush might be too big for the job, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch brushes here. He's too big of a boy. I need a little boy. big baby brush. Give me maybe like a flat brush. Maybe a flat brush would be better. Yeah, give me a stiff brush. That's better. Now we can get in there and get those details. Yes, queen. Okay, that's what we wanted. Okay. So once again, very streaky. It's also entirely see-through, even after I added more paint. This is not even as much water as you're supposed to put in with gouache, and I can see the green underneath the potted plant. And, that's just really bad. Maybe I'll have to try some other student grade paints for gouache, but like this just seems, this just seems bad. It's very streaky. You can see the paper underneath. It's almost acting more like a watercolor, as opposed to a gouache. So that's wigging me out a little bit. Let's go ahead and try the rose shade, which I think is actually really pretty. It's kind of like an earthy red purpley color. We can make a good little pot out of this guy. Once again, I can see the paper underneath, and I didn't even add any water. Which, by the way, you're supposed to add a little bit of water just to activate the gouache. You're not supposed to paint with it straight on, because that's like a waste of paint. It's very see-through. I'm not a fan of this paint at all at this point. I mean, I did get it for I think like $15 because like everybody and their brother has an Arteza coupon code, but as someone who paid for this product personally, I don't know if I'd endorse it. I don't know, the Viridian's drawing really opaque and very pretty. I don't know why some of these colors are working and some of them aren't. Let's go ahead and try the dark green. I like this dark muted earthy tone. We'll give him some love. Once again, I didn't add any water to this color in hopes to increase its opacity. Okay, so this one's not see-through. So I'm very interested as to why some of them are just see-through like that. That's very strange in my opinion, when other ones are not see-through. I almost wonder if it's the reds in general that are weak. Let's go ahead and grab a regular red. So we've got crimson here. We've got, should I do vermilion or should I do scarlet? Scarlet red is claiming to be red, so we'll try that one. Scarlet, okay, that's very orange. So that's either an orange-based red. That's not really what I would think of as scarlet. What are you? This is the crimson red. Also very, very weak. But once again, it's a student grade set. It's not professional, so I'm being kind of hoity-toity because I'm used to professional pigments, like cadmium, for example. So we've got, ew, that water's gross. So is my brush. Get that a rinse there, okay. Yeah, get that color out of there. Okay, so let's go ahead and try the orangey red, the scarlet red. See if they're just weak in general. I'm just doing a swatch right now. Yeah, very streaky. You can see the paper underneath. Okay. And keep in mind, this is just with a damp brush. I am not adding any water like you're supposed to with gouache, which would lower the opacity. Okay, let's go ahead and try the crimson. I'm beginning to wonder if it's the red dye they use in place of pigment to... Yeah. Once again, I can see the paper underneath like a watercolor. If I added water to this... Here, let's add water to this so you can see it. Yeah, see, it's a watercolor consistency. You can see the paper underneath it. That's not great at all. Let's go ahead and put a swatch of one of my reds next to it. So here I have, what is this? The acrylic gouache in crimson. And I'll just show you the difference in opacity because I'm convinced there is a difference here. So first of all, you can see a difference in color and pigmentation. This red is much darker and almost has a purpley tone to it, which next to the crimson by Arteza, I almost like the crimson color better because it looks more like a true red. This is kind of purpley. But you see the difference in how stiff this gouache is? It's not as runny. Touch of water to this, activate it like you're supposed to. And then I'm just going to go ahead and swatch it. You can't see the paper underneath as much. This is not the same at all. This is much more opaque. This almost dried like a watercolor. Like you could see the white of the paper underneath. And here, this is really bad. It's drying kind of lumpy as well, which is not something I'm used to with gouache. Usually gouache lays down to a matte, dry, dead finish. This is not doing that at all. So that's great. Let's grab a detail brush and see how the white performs. Just to add some little detail-y babies on the little cactuses, make them look a little more cartoony. A little bit of a light source. Okay, the white gouache does seem pretty okay. It's not as opaque as I'd like, but it's not doing me no harm. I'll probably use up this white gouache for cartooning and illustration just because I paid for the whole set and I only see me using the white at this point, really. I mean, I might use it up just because I paid for it and I'm out of my gouache that I like for the most part, but yeah, this isn't too bad. It could be much worse. It seems like if you don't add any water to it, it's okay, but you just can't paint with gouache without water because it's really thick and goopy. And don't mind my dog. He's a little wolfer. He barks at everything. Yeah, this doesn't look great. It's not great. Because now it's really thick and chunky, so even with a detailed brush, I'm not getting the small lines that I want. Now it's still wet, so I can add white to that. Well, I'm just overall very unhappy with some of these colors. Some of these colors I'm okay with, like the Viridian, nice flat matte. Which color was this? This was the deep green, also a flat. So it seems like the darker colors seem to be okay. Maybe we should try one of the lighter colors in comparison. What's the lightest color? Lemon yellow, maybe? We'll go ahead and give the lemon yellow a try. But honestly, I have no high hopes at this point. And I'm using an almost dry brush. Well, still have a little bit of the red on the brush here. It's kind of making an orange. Oh, okay, the yellow, surprisingly, is going on. Still really streaky, but I can't see the paper as much, I don't think. So we'll see when it dries. Huh. yeah, I just have mixed feelings about this. I feel like if you painted with it on colored paper, like some wash artists do, it'd be a real struggle. In fact, let me see if I have some black paper. I do, I have some black paper. So I'm gonna go ahead and let that dry. We'll check back in on the yellow and see how it looks. We're gonna go ahead and attempt to paint on some black paper and see if we run into some of the same problems. Let's go ahead and get some green here. Make another little guy. Let's see here. Okay, so surprisingly, it almost seems like it's working better not on watercolor paper, but the smooth black paper that I have. So I'm not seeing the black paper as much as I saw the white paper. And I'm not sure why that is. That's a little bizarre. Ooh, it's starting to dry on me. That's another thing with gouache is like it, especially if you can't add water to it because it won't stay opaque. It dries really fast. Lines are kind of chunky. Okay. I'm kind of getting the impression of a cactus rather than a cactus. Okay, let's try that dreaded pink again because that was pretty atrocious. Okay, yeah, once again, you can see the black paper underneath here. Huh, yeah, that's, ooh, it's like paint with toothpaste. Oh, this is bad. Slap some more on there, maybe. Maybe I can cover up the lighter parts? Nope. That black is just gonna show. Oh, it just looks so bad. It just looks so bad. Let's just dry that baby out. What if I tried one of the weak reds? What happens when I use you? Yeah, the black of the paper is showing. Okay. Huh. Yep. Okay. And if I use the acrylic gouache, nope, I might have added too much water to the acrylic gouache. I'm gonna have the same problem. Nope. Yeah, I added too much water. You can see the black of the paper. Huh. There's just no redeeming quality. This pink especially, the pink is especially bad. Don't recommend it. What about the white? We use the white on black paper. I accidentally mixed in a little bit of the yellow, but yeah, I don't know. The opacity is just not where I want it to be. Let's check in on how the yellow dried that I accidentally mixed orange with. Let's check on that. Yeah, it's very streaky. You can see some darker lumps and lighter lumps. I mean, that might just be user error. I'm not great with gouache in the first place, but like, I'm not very impressed with these guys. I mean, maybe if you're a beginner, but even then I think as a beginner it'd be really hard to learn with these because they're not reacting the way a gouache normally reacts. And I think that itself might make a bit of a problem. Like, it's just really lumpy. I don't know if you guys can see this, but like it is so lumpy. It's textured, like right in there, especially with the pink. I would say probably not Asher approved. I'll probably end up using these just to get rid of them because I paid for them. And unlike big YouTubers, I don't have a marketing budget, but these are not my favorite. I'm a little disappointed, guys. I wanted to like these as much as everybody on the internet did, but I don't. What Arteza products have you guys tried? Are you guys happy with Arteza brand? Have you had any issues with Arteza? Do you feel like maybe them giving stuff to YouTubers is a little bit like false advertising, like they are paid to say certain things and so they do, and do you guys feel like that's dishonest? Do you guys maybe like Arteza a bit more than I do? Go ahead and give me some feedback. I'm just going to go ahead and zoom in on these so you can get a good look at how like different they are. So right here we have the acrylic gouache, which is the not student grade, and then down here we have the student grade, and you can just see the paper through it like it's a watercolor. It's very see-through. And then just this lumpy, bumpy mess that is the hot pink. And then over here we do have the dark green that I like, but honestly it could be so much better. It honestly could. So I don't know. This pink especially is, oof, so lumpy and bad. I don't know, guys. I'm just not impressed. Y'all let me know what you think about these Arteza paints. Go ahead and leave them in the comments below. Thanks for sharing, subscribing, and I'll catch you in the next one, little biscuits. We'll see what's happening next. Bye.